Om Shanti to everyone. Let us begin today's session. So back and neck straight, gently close the eyes. Yeah, Katrina, you unmuted yourself.
Yeah, sorry, it was just an accident. I was just moving it.
Okay. No worries, no worries. So let's begin the class. Back, neck straight, gently close the eyes. Let's just start observing the breath. So you inhale and as you exhale, just keep the mind focused on the breathing. And relax the body completely. Once you feel stable enough in your posture, you're comfortable, slowly come to the practice of Puraka and Vichaka. Go for slow, long and deep inhalations and exhalations. Make sure that there is no effort when you are going for this deep breathing. We'll be chanting Om 3 times, followed by 3 shantis. Exhale completely. And inhale for Om. Shanti. Just feel the vibrations. Join both your palms together in front of the chest and rub both the palms together. Keep them on the eyes. Very slowly while blinking and looking at the palms, open up your eyes, come back with a smile. Namaste to everyone. Let us begin today's class. So yesterday we completed the 3-section breathing, right? And we practiced a little bit, not for very long once again. But little bit we practiced. So today we are going to again work on that practice and go into the process of yogic deep breathing. Right? I hope I'm properly audible to everyone.
Ma'am, actually today, yes, you are audible. Yesterday class I couldn't attend, but later I watched that video and I practiced. One thing, this abdominal breathing I'm able to do. Chest breathing also, I have to really put a lot of effort for that, for my chest to come front and go back. But clavicular is not at all happening for me. I don't really see a movement of clavicular. It is just there.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Okay.
With time, with practice, you will be able to feel that. So today we will do it once again. So practice along with the class, and then let's see. At the end, we will discuss again.
Yeah.
Right. So today we are covering this very important topic. Yogic deep breathing. This is a very important topic for you guys because this is the breathing that you are actually aiming to achieve when you are doing this sectional breathing, when you are gaining mastery over each and every section of the breath. Yeah, that is when you will be able to do yogic deep breathing properly. But before that, it will be a little bit tough for you to do yogic deep breathing. Why? Because it is made out of the three sections of the breath, and now you have to take them in together and exhale, feeling the movement in all three areas. So once again, for your everyday practice, keep abdominal breathing with you guys, because that is the best form in which you can breathe throughout the day, right? Because it keeps your body and your mind relaxed. Okay. However, yogic deep breathing, this will also help you to increase the oxygen level in the body. So yogic deep breathing, main reason why yogic deep breathing is so important is one, because oxygen in the body is now coming inside the body properly, and when the oxygen comes inside the body properly, proper exchange will take place, and even the release of toxins will be much better when you do yogic deep breathing. Okay, so again, acquiring oxygen and releasing carbon dioxide, that is very important. Another reason why yogic deep breathing is considered to be a very important practice before stepping into the practice of pranayama is because it helps you to attain control over your breathing. Okay, so when I use the word control, I do not mean that you put in effort during yogic deep breathing. You have to reach a point where it becomes effortless. So when you start in the beginning, you might feel that you are exerting some sort of effort when you are doing yogic deep breathing. However, your goal is to reach a point where your breath becomes controlled. However, there is no strain on your system, right? So you are not specifically pulling in the breath or releasing the breath like uh, um, immediately the breath is going out. So sometimes what happens is we take a lot of time to inhale, but the exhalation is shorter. So by control, I mean that now you will be able to control the ratio 1:1. As long as you're taking to inhale, that is the amount of time you will take to exhale. So that is what I mean by control. But in no way does it mean that there is effort when you are breathing. So beginner level might feel effort, but eventually your aim is to suspend that effort and only gain control over your breath. Okay? So in that case, yogic deep breathing aids you a lot. Yogic deep breathing again can be done by everyone. However, eventually clavicular breathing is taken out of yogic deep breathing. So only chest and abdominal breathing are done together. But the original technique, we do the three sectional breathing together. So abdominal, then chest, then clavicular breathing, we do it together. And when we exhale, again, all three parts are experiencing some movement. Okay. But eventually, because clavicular breathing, as I told you, it's only done in very extreme conditions. So eventually, when you gain control over your breath, that is when clavicular breathing can be suspended from this practice and proper expansion of your chest. That will be enough for you to do in this practice. Okay. Another very important thing when we do yogic deep breathing is how we are going to do it. Okay, so let me take the example of a water bottle, right? So when I pour, suppose I have a water bottle and it is empty, it is completely empty. So when I start pouring water in the bottle, first the lower part will start getting filled up, and then eventually the level of the water will rise and reach the top, right? So this is how your breath also works. So whenever you go for yogic deep breathing, first your abdomen is going to come out. Okay? Then there is expansion in the chest, and then you go for final clavicular breathing. Okay? And as in the case of a water bottle, when you take the water out, first the upper portion of the water goes out, upper portion of the bottle is emptied, and eventually the lower portion is emptied. In that same way, when you breathe out, first your collarbones will move a little bit down, then your chest will go up, and then you will contract the abdomen inside. Okay, so you have to go step by step in the 3 breaths. So you cannot change the order. You cannot, in the exhalation, you cannot just push the abdomen in first. You have to go step by step, right? Another very important thing when you do deep breathing is again, effort. It has to become effortless. And initially, after practicing the 3 sectional breathing separately, what starts happening is we start expecting that, when I'm doing abdominal breathing, my, abdomen, maybe it moves out this much. But now when I'm doing yogic deep breathing, it will move out this much only. Why? Because now I'm shifting my focus from the abdomen to the chest, and it is coming up, and I'm doing the full breathing, right? So if I go for sectional breathing, of course, when I'm doing abdominal breathing, my main focus is that my abdomen moves out and goes in. So there is going to be much more movement in sectional breathing. But when you go for yogic deep breathing, you will see that there is slight rise in the abdomen, then in the chest, and then collarbone. So you are dividing that same breath now, that same 5 or 7 seconds of inhalation, or maybe even 3. Doesn't matter how much it is. I'm just taking a hypothetical example. So suppose you have 6 seconds of breath. So you are going to divide that breath in such a way so that properly you are able to fill in the breath, and then properly all 3 parts are engaged when you are exhaling out. But it's not going to be like the each sectional breathing. Similarly for the chest, when you do thoracic breathing separately, you will experience very easily being able to connect with the movement in the chest. But when you do yogic deep breathing, maybe it will take you a while to feel that same thing, right? Because now same breathing you are dividing into sections. So chest will also not get that much capacity because already diaphragm has moved down. So less capacity is there for the chest, for the movement of the chest also. Okay, so now we are going to go for proper yogic deep breathing. Let me give you a few benefits of this breath. And another thing, this can be practiced at any point of time during the day. So but throughout your day, abdominal breathing is the best practice for you. And even though it can be practiced at any point of time, generally yogic deep breathing is not practiced throughout the day. It's abdominal breathing which you practice throughout the day. Okay. And yogic deep breathing, one of the major benefits is oxygen supply in the body increases. So now you are inhaling and exhaling properly. So oxygen, naturally the oxygen supply will increase. Exchange of toxins is good. That takes place properly. It is a great practice for someone who experiences a lot of stress. So beneficial for people experiencing stress, and if you are angry, if you get angry very quickly, then this is a great practice. For managing your anger. So doesn't matter if you are angry at that point of time. If you start taking deep breaths, yeah, if you start going for yogic deep breathing, your anger will calm down very quickly. And in general also, if you practice this regularly during your yoga sessions, whenever you do your personal practice, if you practice yogic deep breathing, the general level at which your anger comes and how quickly it comes, that is also going to be managed very well, right? So it is going to go down eventually with time. When you keep a consistent practice, you're going to see a change in your anger levels as well. Same goes for extreme emotions. If you have extreme emotions, especially women experience this before their monthly cycle, yeah, menstrual cycle. So yogic deep breathing is an amazing practice for them and anybody in general who is struggling with very up and down emotions. Yogic deep breathing definitely calms the person down and brings them back to their breath, brings them back to their present moment. And I told you in the beginning also, breath and mind have a very strong connection. Okay, and this connection is not that easily controlled. So yogic deep breathing helps you to very easily change your state of mind and relax. In most life management books also, you will see that they always ask you to sit and take a few deep breaths. So that is what yogic breathing can do for you. Yes, I'm not sure if I pronounced your name correctly. You were unmuting yourself. Uh, Narenga, am I right or am I not right?
Yeah, Narenga, yeah.
Yeah, okay, great. Yeah, tell me. Do you have any doubts?
You asking me?
Yeah.
No. I'm good. I'm actually good because I teach pranayama, so it's all just repeating all the knowledge is really good.
Okay, I thought you were unmuting yourself, so you had some doubt. So that
No. Because of the network, it keeps coming in and out. So when it relogins, then it's changing. So that's why.
okay. Oh, okay. Great. Okay.
Yeah. No doubts. Thank you.
Great. Yeah, so in general, your state of mind, your emotions, all of these things are very easily managed if we just stop for a while and take a few deep breaths. And that is what yogic deep breathing is for us, taking a few deep breaths where we can gain control over our breathing and in an indirect manner gain control over the prana and even your thought pattern, right? So it is a great way for you to begin your pranayama practice apart from all other pre-practices like Shat Karmas, right? So cleansing of the body. These practices have a great impact on your pranayama practices. And if you get established in these practices, you will face no difficulty in pranayama. However, if your breathing pattern is not correct, that is when you will face a lot of difficulty in pranayama, because it is all about how you take your breath. It's just a different way of taking breath for each pranayama. You just change the way in which you take the breath, but you're still taking a proper breath, a controlled breath during pranayama, right? So if you establish yourself in this sectional breathing, that is when you will be able to see many more results out of the same pranayama practices than when you will see when you do not go into these practices and directly go into the practice of pranayama. So that is when it gets very tricky, because right now posture is not correct, breathing pattern has not been corrected, so it is going to cause a lot of you won't be able to form stability in your pranayama practice. So another very big benefit of yogic deep breathing is that you correct your breathing pattern. So this is another very important thing. That is why practicing yogic deep breathing has been considered to be one of the most important practices. And tomorrow I will also be introducing another free practice for you guys, which is Nadi Shodhana. Yeah. So that is also again another free practice. So yogic deep breathing is not a pranayama practice. A lot of people confuse it to be the a pranayama practice. It is not. It is a free practice. And all three sectional breathings are free practices. Okay. Any doubts in anything that I have discussed? After that, we can proceed into the practice of yogic deep breathing. Any doubts? All right. Okay. So this time around, what we're going to do is we're going to place one hand on the abdomen, right? And one hand you can place on the chest, and the hand is placed on the chest in such a manner that it just touches your collarbone. So that when you go for clavicular breathing, you are able to feel the rise in the collarbones as well. So first we're going to go for each sectional breathing one by one, and then at the end we are going to combine all three of these and go for yogic deep breathing. Okay, so one by one, and then fourth one is going to be your yogic deep breathing pattern. So for yogic deep breathing, what you can do is keep one hand on abdomen, one hand on chest, just touching your collarbones, and then when you inhale and exhale, you will get an idea of how the breath is moving. So when you inhale, your abdomen should move up, then the chest will rise up, and then the collarbones will slightly, you will feel a rise in the collarbones. This will be felt when you inhale a little bit more. So suppose your breath is almost about to be complete and you are like, you cannot breathe more than this. So try to inhale a little bit more. When you do that, you will feel the rise in the collarbones, right? And then same manner, when you exhale, collarbones will go down, chest will go in, and then contract the abdomen in. This is very important. Why? Because if your exhalation is not proper, your next consecutive inhalation will not be proper, because there is still air in the lungs, right? So you will not be able to inhale as much, taking as much time, right? So make sure that when you exhale, your exhalation is also quite, it should be proper, so that space is made for the inhalation also. So both of them are two different processes connected with one another. So one makes the space for the other one, right? So let us begin with yogic deep, first we'll go for section breathing, then yogic deep breathing. So what we can do is, if you feel like sitting, you can do this in a sitting posture, or else if you feel like lying down, you can do this in shavasana as well, right? So you can just lie down. If you're choosing to lie down, then just keep a gap between your feet. Palms are away from the body. Sorry, hands are away from the body, palms facing upwards, and your entire spine should be straight. So do not tilt your neck towards one side or the other. Keep the neck straight. If you're choosing to sit in a comfortable posture, then just make sure your back and neck are straight, right? Neck and shoulders are relaxed. And whenever you feel ready, very gently close the eyes. Come in your posture and close the eyes. And just start connecting with the natural flow of your breath. through breath as you inhale and as you exhale. Start connecting with that. Make sure that if you're sitting, your weight is equally balanced on both the hips. If you're lying down, loosen up your body and let it relax as much as possible. Stay focused on the natural flow of the breath. And you're not putting in any effort, just breathe as it is. Keep observing your breath. Slowly shift your attention to your body. Make sure that your body is completely relaxed. Release any stress or tension from the body. And specifically make sure that your face is relaxed. Your neck and shoulders are completely relaxed. And as your body relaxes, your mind comes to a calm position. You will see that your breath will automatically become slow, long, and deep. You automatically enter the process of 𝐾𝐸. So just observe this thing. Become aware of this change in your breath. And prepare the body for abdominal breathing. So place either your right or left hand on the abdomen. Exhale completely. Pull your abdomen in when you exhale. And then as you start inhaling, expand the abdomen. As you exhale, again, contract the abdomen goes in. And exhale completely. And just follow this breathing pattern. Inhale abdomen out. Exhale abdomen in. Keep the mind completely focused on your abdomen, even if it has the tendency to run away. Just gently bring it back to the movement of your abdomen. And experience the rise and fall in your abdomen as you breathe in and as you breathe out. And deepen your practice with each breath. Take 3 more breaths in the same manner and then suspend your practice. Just allow your breath to be as it is and observe the change in your breath after abdominal breathing. Observe the change in the state of your mind. Once again, if you're sitting, just make sure your back and neck are straight. We're going to begin with thoracic breathing, chest breathing. So place either the right or left hand on the chest. Exhale completely. Chest is down. As you begin to inhale, expand your chest properly. Once you have inhaled, as you exhale, let the chest drop down. Inhale, chest out. Exhale, chest in. Just keep the mind totally absorbed in this movement of the body. And see how you feel as you take each consecutive breath. Thoracic breathing. And go deeper into your practice with each consecutive breath. Go for last 3 breaths. Just make sure that you're putting in minimum effort into thoracic breathing. After the last 3 breaths, you can just suspend the practice. Check the natural flow of the breath. See how it has changed from abdominal to thoracic breathing. Change in mind, change in breath. And keep the back and neck straight. If you want to change your posture after completing thoracic breathing, go ahead, change the posture, be in a comfortable state. Now, let's prepare ourselves for the third section of the breathing practices, clavicular breathing. Again, back and neck should be straight. Lying down. Just keep the body relaxed. You can either place your hands on the collarbones directly, or you can cross the hands and place them on the collarbones. As you see fit, as you feel that you can elongate your practice, whichever hand posture suits you the best. Go ahead and adopt that. Completely exhale. And as you begin to inhale, start inhaling and giving a rise to your chest. And then at the end, fill in some more air so that you feel a slight rise in the collarbones. As you exhale, feel the collarbones drop down and the chest will go in. This will require maximum effort. Just try to see if you're able to feel it. Keeping the eyes closed. Just observe this thing. Just take 3 more breaths and then suspend the practice. We're not going to very long practice of clavicular breathing. Last 3 breaths and then just suspend the practice. Observe the natural flow of the breath. again. Back and neck straight. Let's get ready for yogic deep breathing. Place one hand on the abdomen, one on the chest, just touching the collarbones. Exhale completely. Contract the abdomen in. And then begin to inhale. First abdominal breaths. And feel the chest rise. As you fill in the last of the breath. Side movement in the collarbones. As you exhale, collarbones go down. Chest also goes in. And finally, contract the abdomen in. Exhale completely. This is one round. Let's practice a few more rounds so that we can experience yogic deep breathing. Try to go for a slow, long and deep inhalation. There's some level of control that you will acquire on your breath as you inhale and as you exhale in yogic deep breathing. Exhale again. Feel that thing. Stay connected with each and every body part as you breathe in. Feel the rise in each and every section. And as you exhale, in each and every section contract. And go for deep breathing, as deep as you can. Again, minimum effort should be applied when you're going for your deep breathing. Deepen your practice with each consecutive breath. Just a few more breaths. Deep breathing. Take 5 last breaths in this manner and then suspend the practice. 5 more breaths. Once you suspend the practice, see how you feel. Was it too tiring for you? Was it relaxing for you? Just keep observing this thing. Stay with the natural flow of the breath and just observe. Stay with your breath. Start to come back. Slightly move your fingers, move your toes. Join both the palms together. And then rub both the palms together. Place them on the eyes. Allow your eyes to absorb this heat. One more time. Join both the palms together, rub them together. Keep them on the eyes. Time to come back whenever you feel ready. Very slowly while blinking and looking at the palm, open up your eyes. Come back. Yeah. So how was your experience? Were you able to do deep breathing, both of you?
Wow. I found that really good. But I normally breathe quite deep into my abdomen anyway. That's my natural way of breathing. But I found coming back into that, like you say, afterwards, the abdomen doesn't expand as much when you're doing all three. And then I noticed coming back, I sort of went into my natural breathing pattern. But my abdomen still doesn't feel like it's expanding like it was. Is that normal? And does that change during the day back to full expansion, or is it just becoming better for me?
No. So after a while, eventually your normal breathing pattern is going to kick in, and abdominal breathing is the correct manner to breathe throughout the day. So yogic deep breathing is mostly done to gain more control over the breath. However, during the day, best practice is abdominal breathing. So eventually start, you will see eventually it's going to come back, the abdominal breathing. If it doesn't, practice a few rounds of abdominal breathing. Don't worry about it.
Okay, cool. It definitely feels good. I feel a lot lighter. I actually started sweating. Like I felt like I was heating up.
Oh, okay. No worries. Don't worry about it.
Feels refreshing.
Great. How about you? I cannot see the right name, but Shri Rupa. Rupa. Is the case silent? You were having
yeah. Yeah, actually at one point my head was, I think, slightly it was about to tilt, and I kind of felt a sleepy mode,
Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. No worries. Sit in a posture in which you do not sleep. Okay. So adopt a little bit slightly difficult posture when this happens, because of course, that tends to happen sometimes. So that's okay. No worries. Keep the body as stable as possible and sit in a slightly difficult posture in order to avoid this.
And one more thing, my stomach, I'm able to see that bulging and then going back. But thoracic and clavicular, no, it's not as compared to stomach. These two are not that much bulging.
That is not a metric for you. As long
Okay.
as you are able to, experience the rise and fall, that's okay. With eventually, with time and practice, you will also be able to expand the chest a little bit more than you are able to do right now, because you have just started. No? So right now, you just started to explore the capacity of your breath. So the comparison, do not compare that abdomen is expanding much more, chest is not. Abdomen, of course, there are no bones over here, right? So you might feel that thing more. With time, again, your practice will deepen, but that's okay. As long as you're able to feel the movement in the body part, that is good enough for a beginner.
Oh, yeah.
So you were able to feel clavicular this time.
No, clavicular, thoracic, not much, but abdomen, yes.
Not much or less, but something you were able to feel, right?
Actually, movement of clavicular I'm not able to feel. Little bit. It is like it is not at all moving. It is not going up or down. It is just there. I think then for that I have to breathe lot of inhalation I have to do, I guess, for the movement to happen.
So,
but my capacity is not that much. Sorry.
I was saying, when you feel that you have taken in the entire breath, then breathe in just a little bit more. That is when you will feel that rise.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Maybe next time. Yeah.
Keep practicing. You will be able to get there. Don't worry.
Yeah. Sure. Thanks.
Okay. So let's end today's session then. We'll chant Om one time and 3 Shantis. So back next straight. Keep the eyes closed. And just take a deep inhalation for Om. Shanti. Join both the palms together in front of the chest and wrap both the palms together. Keep them on the eyes. Slowly while blinking and looking at the palms, open up your eyes. Bye bye, everyone.